So today I'm going to be talking about my first couple symptoms that I had. Um, Symptoms I had before I found out I was pregnant, and then symptoms that I had maybe like the week after I found out I was pregnant. Kind of the week of or whatever. I found out on a Tuesday, so like from then until like the next week or for the next week or two. So I have it on here because otherwise I probably would have forgotten a lot of them. So, don't mind that, my phone is dying. So the first symptoms I had, the symptoms I had before I found out I was pregnant, when I get my period, I have acne and a little bit of soreness, a little sore breast, my breasts are a little sore, not super sore, but a little bit, and I did have the acne like normal, that wasn't anything new, but I didn't really have any soreness leading up to the day that I found out. But I did have not only acne on my face, but I also had acne on my chest, a couple on my shoulders, and I didn't really think a whole lot of it. I didn't think too much into it because almost every period I've had, especially since we've been trying, there's been something different. The week before that like could have been the different thing that meant that I was pregnant, but it was just, there's always something that was different from every other time. And I'm like, I wonder, since I haven't had this before. So I did think about it when I had the chest stuff, because that was something I hadn't had before, but I wasn't like, I've got to be pregnant, because it wasn't the first off thing that I had in the past. I also had gas, which I think is from like the stretching and stuff or something down there. So I had some gas. I don't know if all of these are really a sign, but I had when I would brush my teeth, my gums bled, although that could just be because like gingivitis or something, but and they still do sometimes. But that was something else that, looking back, I mean, that could have been a thing, but I don't know if I don't know if it was for sure or not, but I know that that can be a sign, so that might have been a sign for me. And then I put pelvic pull after shower. There was one day that I took a shower, and I don't know if I was drying off or if I just like moved my hands up to like stretch. I was either stretching, for whatever reason, I moved my hands, and now I have to like stretch again. For whatever reason, I like stretched my hand, I put my hands like up and like stretched them up, and like in my pelvic area, I felt like a jolt of like, oh, that hurt. Kind of felt like there was like a string tied to something in my pelvic area that like was also connected to something up here, and that like pulled when I stretched, and so it pulled that, and it was like, oh, that hurt. But it was only like for like a second. It was weird. And then I have, that my dog was hiding food and not really eating, which I'm not really sure. Thinking later it might have been more due to her getting ready to be in heat, on an unrelated me note. Because she went back to eating fine a week or two after that, but then she's hiding her food again now sometimes. So I don't know if it's pregnancy related or not, but that was happening. So those were all the things before I found out. And then after I found out, after I got positive tests and stuff, that's when my breasts started getting sore. And even to this day, I am currently 9 weeks and 4 days? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, yeah. 9 weeks and 4 days today, and my breasts are still sore. Like, they haven't stopped being sore, but they're not like so sore that I can't like touch them and don't want anyone coming near me. I don't want my animals stepping on them or anybody like pushing me in that spot, but it's not super painful. It's not really too much. It's not really, I don't think, any worse most of the time than what they would usually be before my period. But there are some times where they like kind of ache or like kind of sting, where I'm just sitting there and not touching them, or I just feel like they're, I don't know, growing or something's going on in there. But they're not super sore on a regular basis even now. I've had some TMI, but I've had some constipation on and off. I had some in the beginning on and off, and then it kind of went away, and then I had a little bit more recently. But yeah, I had some period like cramping in that first week after finding out, or maybe first couple weeks, and I've had some since then, but I don't want to talk about like current stuff yet because I'm going to be talking about that on Friday. But I had some period like cramping where it wasn't super painful, but it was definitely cramping, and yeah, but there would be no like blood or anything, and it wouldn't last as long. Like usually like the day before or the day of my period, usually the day my period started, I would have like, I'd be in pain for like 5 hours or so, 3 to 5 hours. Not fun, but none of the cramping I've had since finding out I'm pregnant has lasted that long. The most has been like 5 to 10 minutes, so that's a lot better than 3 to 5 hours. Of course, fatigue, tiredness, I've had some of that on and off, some days more than others. I haven't really been doing a whole lot of exercising, partly because I haven't had a whole lot of time, but also just because I've been tired and don't feel like doing a whole lot. So maybe a couple weeks from now I'll have more energy and I'll be doing more, but I haven't even been exhausted. It's just that some nights I'm just like, I don't feel like doing anything. So there's that. And then I've continued in that week, and even now, continued to get acne on my face, and in that first week after I got my period, or after I didn't get my period, after I found out I was pregnant, after I didn't get my period, I had some like scabs and some acne inside my nose, like just like, I think one in each nose or a couple in each nose, and that was weird. But I haven't really had that since, and I'm not really sure if that's a pregnancy thing or not, but I marked it down because it's not something I get regularly, but I've had that before. So those were kind of my first few symptoms the week before, and then the week of finding out that I was pregnant. On Friday, this coming Friday, so this should be up on Wednesday, in 2 days on Friday, I'm hoping to have a video of my like first official bump date video. I'll tell you how it'll be a 10-week bump date because I'll be 10 weeks on Friday. I'll tell you what symptoms I've had this week, and I'll show you my belly, although it's most of the what might be called a bump is just chubbiness, so there's that, but I'll show you anyway, you can see it. And I'll tell you my symptoms this past week and my thoughts and stuff, but or maybe even a little bit before this past week. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to let you know, because I know a lot of people look for the video or the symptoms, like they're like symptom spotting, and they want to see if what their symptoms they're having is something that somebody else has had, if that's actually a symptom or not. And obviously not everybody's going to have the same symptoms. What you're experiencing, if it's the same as me, may or may not mean you're pregnant. My stuff was a little weird. It could have been not pregnancy, or it could have been not pregnancy. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.